This video will walk you through the assembly instructions for the Trim Saver CS18. You should have two boxes to start with. Locate the included manual. All the tools you'll need are listed on page 1. But sometimes, as you'll see in this video, we like to use power drivers or ratchet systems where it makes things easier. You'll find a list of components and fasteners on page 2. It's better to leave the fasteners in their labeled bags for now. We'll unpack them when we need them. If you find you are missing anything during the assembly process, please let us know right away. Go to twistertrimmer.com and in the Contact menu, click on Support. There you'll find our phone number, a support form, or you can chat live with Twister staff. Step 1. Attaching the casters to the base plate. You'll need fastener bag A. Before attaching the casters, make sure you use a Starlock washer on every bolt. Get the threads started with your fingers. Secure them with a wrench, or use a socket driver if you like. Repeat the process for all 4 casters. Step 2. Attaching the motor support to the lid holder. You'll need fastener bags B and C. Align the 2 components. Remember to use a Starlock washer on every bolt. Insert a bolt in one of the 4 corner holes and hold it there with your finger. With your other hand holding a nut and Starlock washer, reach inside and get the threading started. Repeat the same process for the other 3 nuts and bolts. It's easy to tighten these using a wrench on the inside with a power driver on top. Next, we'll attach this assembly onto the base plate using fastener bag C. Again, don't forget the Starlock washers. Get the threads started with your fingers. In this case, a ratchet wrench really helps speed the process. Let's set this on the ground for step 3, attaching the hose saddle. You'll need fastener bag D. Place the post on the lid holder, ensuring it's orientated correctly with the wider side of the flange pointed as you see here. Again, don't forget your washers. Get the bolts started with your fingers. Tighten them with a wrench or power driver. Hold the 2 pieces of the saddle back to back around the top of the post with one hand and align the holes. Insert the longer bolts through the holes in the post. The saddle should stay there on its own long enough for you to grab a couple of nylock nuts and get the threads started with your fingers. Tighten them with your wrench and power driver. Use the shorter bolts on the outer holes, again, beginning with your fingers to get them started, and then using the tools to tighten. For the following step, we have to flip the whole assembly on its side. To keep things level, you can use one of the packing foam pieces found in the shipping box. Place the foam on the ground and flip the whole thing 90 degrees, resting the lid holder on the foam. Step 4 is attaching the motor. You'll need fastener bag E. It's heavy, so be careful. Once you have it placed correctly, it should rest there safely for the moment. Use flat washers on the bolts before you place them in their holes. Then, use a Starlock washer and nut on the inside. Get the threads started with your fingers. We're going to use a regular wrench on the inside and a ratchet wrench on the top to tighten them. Repeat the process for all 4 connectors. When you're done, you can return the whole thing to its upright position. Step 5. Attaching the filter adapter. You'll need fastener bag F. Align the gasket on the adapter. Put it into position and get all the bolts started with your fingers. Don't forget the lock washers. We're using our power driver on the corners because it fits, but we'll have to use a wrench on the sides where there's a little less room. Step 6. Attaching the cart handle. You'll need fastener bag G. Get the handle aligned, remember the lock washers, and start all the bolts with your fingers. This will keep the handle in position while you get the bolts tightened. Step 7. Attaching the vacuum separator and bin lid. Now you'll need fastener bag H. Align one of the round separator gaskets on the top side. Then slide the bottom of the vacuum separator on top of the gasket and below the ridges on the lid holder. Use the flat washers. Insert all 6 bolts around the flange of the separator. Align the second gasket on top of the lid. Raise the lid into position. Get the nuts started with your fingers. Tighten them up with a wrench and power driver. Step 8. Attaching the handles and latches to the bin. For this, you'll need both fastener bags I and J. Start by placing the bolts into the handles and slide the handles into position. Then get the acorn nuts started on the inside with your fingers. Tighten them up with a wrench and screwdriver or power driver. Put the latches in their places. Again, getting the threads started with your fingers and tightening with the tools. Step 9. Assembling the bin insert. You'll need fastener bag K. Align the holes on the insert. Stick the plastic rivets into place and snap them together with some pressure. It doesn't really matter which way the male or female pieces are facing. Just make sure they are fully secured. Next is the bag. Wrap the bag around the insert. Shake the insert down to the bottom of the bag. Then fold the rest of the bag down inside the insert. Now you can set the whole thing into the bin, ensuring the bag is not overlapping or hanging outside of the rim. Step 10. Attaching the bin to the bin lid and configuring the latches. With the bag insert inside the bin, slide the bin into place under the bin lid. Flip up the latch catches, then close the latches. Now, the first time you assemble the trim saver, the latches will not be configured perfectly. Move these nuts into position with your fingers. A correct positioning will hold the bin securely and evenly around the entire lid when the latches are closed. Once you've got it right with your fingers, tighten the bolts with the tools. Step 11. Attaching the hose. Set the hose on the saddle. Sliding the hose ends over the connection points may be a challenge, so applying some isopropyl alcohol or a little dish soap to these parts will make it easier. Make sure they're on all the way. Step 12. Attaching the filter bag and clamp. Put the clamp on first. Pull the bag into position and bring the clamp back on top of the bag's collar, then tighten the clamp with your fingers. Your trim saver is ready for action.